Ever wondered how Cold War soldiers survived winters that could kill faster than bullets, without a single heater or stove? Imagine being stationed in a remote outpost, surrounded by endless snowdrifts, where the temperature drops so low that even your breath freezes in midair. These soldiers face not just the threat of enemy fire, but the relentless, bone-chilling cold that could sap your strength and willpower in hours. I'm talking about icy bunkers, mountain passes, and frozen border posts, where even a candle could give you away. The risk wasn't just discomfort, it was survival. Any sign of life, even the faintest glow or wisp of smoke, could draw the enemy's attention and spell disaster for an entire unit. The secret? They didn't chase heat. They trapped it, using nothing but discipline and a few layers of smart thinking. Instead of relying on technology, they relied on their training, their wits, and a deep understanding of how the human body interacts with the environment. So, here's what the history books barely mention. These weren't just random tricks, they were carefully developed methods, passed down and refined through years of hard-won experience in some of the harshest climates on Earth. After World War II, armies built massive front lines, stretching through some of the coldest places on Earth. The Iron Curtain wasn't just a political boundary, it was a frozen gauntlet where soldiers had to be as tough as the landscape itself. But lighting a fire was suicide. The enemy was always watching, and the smallest mistake could be fatal. Even the hope of a little warmth had to be weighed against the risk of exposure. Even a tiny puff of smoke could give away a hidden bunker. Generators? Too noisy. The silence of winter was both a shield and a threat. Any unnatural sound or sight could travel for miles across the snow. No, the soldiers had to make do with what they had, and that started with the body itself. When you're cut off from modern comforts, your own body heat becomes your most valuable resource. Your body is already a furnace. The trick is keeping that heat from leaking away. Every calorie you burn is precious, and every bit of warmth you lose is energy you can't afford to waste. Cold War militaries drilled soldiers in one principle: beat the cold by stopping heat loss before it starts. This wasn't just a suggestion, it was a matter of life and death, drilled into every recruit from day one. The three-layer system was their ace in the hole, and it's still the gold standard for mountaineers today. This system is simple, effective, and adaptable to almost any situation, whether you're on a windswept ridge or huddled in a bunker. First, the inner layer kept skin dry. No sweat, no chill. Moisture is the enemy, and even a little dampness can turn a survivable night into a deadly one. Next, the middle layer trapped warm air in tiny pockets, like thousands of personal furnaces. Wool and fleece were favorites, because they kept insulating even when wet. The outer shell blocked wind, because even a light breeze can steal your heat in seconds. Windproofing was as important as insulation, sometimes more. You don't need expensive gear, just stack your clothes right and you're halfway to victory. Even old sweaters and jackets can be lifesavers if you use them wisely. But it went deeper than clothing. The environment itself could be turned into an ally if you knew how to work with it. Cold War bunkers were built as passive heat traps. Every detail, from the materials to the layout, was chosen to conserve warmth. Concrete walls, low ceilings, small rooms, these bunkers were designed to hold in every scrap of warmth soldiers gave off. The architecture itself became a survival tool, turning a freezing shelter into a livable space. 10 men could raise the temperature by several degrees just by being there. Want to try it? Gather your group, close the doors, and you'll feel the difference in minutes. Shrink your space, block off empty corners, and use blankets or tarps to create a heat pocket. The smaller and more insulated your area, the less heat you lose. The smaller the room, the warmer it gets. Fast. This is a trick that works just as well in a modern home as it did in a bunker. The deadliest enemy, though, was right underfoot. The ground can drain your body heat faster than the air ever could. The ground itself sucked the heat straight out of you. The fix? Elevate. Even a few inches can make a world of difference. Soldiers stacked branches, crates, anything, to get just a few inches off the frozen earth. This simple trick could mean the difference between a cold, sleepless night and a chance at real rest. It's a trick you can use anywhere. Outdoors with branches, indoors with cardboard or old carpets. Insulation doesn't have to be fancy, it just has to work. The effect is immediate and dramatic. You'll feel the warmth build up, and your body will thank you for it. Moisture was another silent killer. Wet clothes, damp boots, or even condensation inside a tent could spell disaster. That's why disciplined units rotated their clothes, aired them out, and preheated boots and outfits inside their sleeping bags. Dry gear was non-negotiable, and every soldier knew it. They made sure everything was dry and warm before stepping back into the cold. A few minutes of preparation could save hours of misery, or worse. Try warming your socks under your sweater or stuffing tomorrow's clothes in your sleeping bag. It's a small effort with a big payoff. It's simple, free, and it works. This wasn't nostalgia. These were hard-earned lessons, paid for in frostbite and sleepless nights. It was battlefield engineering. Physics, not gadgets. The science of survival is timeless, and it's just as relevant today as it was then. A Cold War soldier who stayed dry, elevated, wind-proofed, and heat-banked could survive cold that would leave today's gadget-laden campers shivering. The difference wasn't technology. It was knowledge, discipline, and the will to endure. If this opened your eyes to the hidden science of survival, hit subscribe and share this with someone who loves forgotten history. The past is full of wisdom that can help us face the challenges of today and tomorrow. There's more buried knowledge waiting to surface. Stay curious, and you'll never stop learning how to survive and thrive, no matter what the world throws at you.